I know you didn't want to get into it as much today, Kenneth, man, but we had a real, kind of close person to us that we kind of admire from afar say some troubling things about purchasing a house, right? As far as like with the Earn Your Leisure platform, and Rashad kind of had a situation with his home where he was describing like, oh, that was the worst financial investment that he ever made, right? And to the point that I just made talking about the whole Grant Cardone thing, right? That was the worst financial investment for him, right? And that's what he referenced, more or less. So you have to consider, just because he's saying that was the worst decision he made, he had so much problems with purchasing because of permits and different things. He was trying to build a multi-million-dollar custom home. If you're not trying to do that, you ain't even have to worry about pulling permits and doing things to that type of level. Those are kind of rich people problems that he's talking about right there, which I wouldn't be mad to have those type of problems. All I'm trying to get you guys to understand is you have to really be careful of who you're listening to and why they're stating what they're saying. If you're not in that tax bracket, those rules do not apply to you. Don't listen to them.
True indeed. And again, we love Earn Your Leisure, Rashad and Troy. We love you guys. We really admire your platform for sure. But I will say this: we have to be very careful when we're on these platforms. We have a responsibility and due diligence to make sure the aspect of information is delivered, appropriately. And that doesn't mean that he did not do so. But I think sometimes we have so many outlets, we have so many platforms, people do so much that unfortunately it's not translated well, right? It's not translated well on screen, and how someone is being able to perceive you. And also a lot of inspiring entrepreneurs, kids, and even, adults ourselves, we admire and we love the information that you guys are doing, putting out there, but be very cautious of the reception that other people will take in, because again, home ownership, we all know, is the cornerstone of wealth, right? I don't think I've ever met with a financially astute person that does not own a property. Right. So again, these problems aren't necessarily going to be your problems. Whether if it's your first home, second home, third home, we are all not in the same level of economics. So with that being said, if your financial strategy is to basically get to a point where you're trying to be on an upward trajectory and get that first home, get that second home, get your rental property or anything of that nature, those problems that he's having is probably not going to be the problems that you're going to have. We're more or less, you're more or less, again, if you're in that position, you're more or less going to be worried about getting a loan approved, right? That's the first thing. Let's get our loan approved first. So if we can do that, at that point, everything else will go, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely so. And because when we're thinking about home ownership, and why I kind of stress it so much, is that you cannot afford to pay a mortgage or let alone rent while you're retired, right? So, the whole vision of the 30-year mortgage is that you purchase a home in your 30s. Well, by the time you get to your 60s, the home is paid off and you got that line item out of your budget, right? So that's kind of the goal of home ownership. Obviously, everybody's life isn't as cookie cutter and working that way, right? So obviously you might be in your 30s, you might be in your 40s and just starting to purchase a home, which that's okay. It's never too late to start, but don't let someone convince you not to start.
Yeah, because again, hearing something like that could automatically deter me, because most people are not educated enough in the real estate world to know that that's not what he meant. I know that, right? But everyone doesn't know that. If you're a first-time home buyer and you're teetering the line if you want to buy a home or not, and you see these 6% interest rates, 7% interest rates, and you're kind of going back and forth trying to make the decision, well, I'm going to tell you right now, you don't have enough skin in the game nor experience to decipher the message that he put out.
Absolutely.
So it's very kind of a very fine line to toe. So, but again, you know, like I said before, we really, again, enjoy you guys, and very inspiring, to be honest with you. So at the end of the day, man, we always want to make sure that the responsibilities that we carry on these platforms are making sure that our audiences are well taken care of. And that goes in to say, even the veteran community, right? We talk about, home ownership, but just like you mentioned, you cannot afford to be able to take care of yourself and pay a mortgage at the age when retirement comes. For the most part, again, the military has gotten away with the retirement program, which we'll get more into in later in depth in other episodes. However,